Just to clarify, this is match 2. This will be game 1 of. I'm sorry. What are the team names again? The Lionspeed and you face Braxis. Got it. So did you make yourself ref?
To yourself, I have unmuted myself, and no, I have not made myself ref. So
okay.
There's that. So, but we are on Sky Temple at this point, and we are about to get this next game going.
Yep, just clearing up technical issues. So it looks like both teams are ready, and we're just going to jump right into it.
All right, we are Glucius. That's his name, Glucius.
Glucius. I will mess it up a lot. We
all will.
So Sky Temple, obviously we just came from that map in the last series. It was in game 2, but anyway, Sky Temple is a very, very classic map. We talked about all the strengths there. Dahak is very good there. Obviously, we saw great Brightwing play. We'll have to see how the teams choose to approach this.
I'd like to see a Greymane at some point tonight. Or not a Greymane, a Dahaka. Why did I say Greymane? It's going to be a long night for me.
We've seen a lot of Greymane. I'm going to go ahead and I've got a loud train that always comes by my house. So
Mr. Chooch! Gotta love it. So, right now, we've got you face Braxis debating on what their first ban should be. They're probably gonna look at either banning a global, and I've got P Flame G informing me I'm hardcore muted, and I know it's fixed. And we see the Ariel ban, the traditional ban. We'll see where Lionspeed decide to go with this. Don't forget, later tonight we've got Golden Mishas against Rixer for Kids. That should be an entertaining match. I didn't notice that second team name with the Golden Mishas until just now. I was just like, oh, Golden Mishas. I can cast that with DJ Tyrant later tonight. So, but again, thank you everyone for sticking around with us tonight on this Thursday Night Heroes edition of Chair League. We appreciate you sticking around for us. Thank you to the 17 new followers that decided we were good enough or maybe bad enough to hit that follow button. Love each and every one of you. Almost to the 100 followers mark.
Yeah, fairly new channel, and we really appreciate the help that Trixler threw us tonight. And we cast Open HGC on Mondays, and we also cast anyways, we see a Tassadar pickup on the side of You Face Braxis.
I love it.
Tassadar is really strong. He is very good in Sky Temple. He has a lot of room to maneuver and a lot of spaces where he can get his quest going. For his auto attack damage if they elect to go that route, which most Tassadars tend to.
Yeah, definitely. I know I always joke around about Tassadar being the best assassin in NA, but like really you can't his damage, his siege damage, his hero damage really can't be understated. Like
yeah.
He is a vicious Protoss. And I just love that like pretty much at this point the Mecha Tassadar skin has pretty much become the default at this point.
Yeah, it feels like it's Mecha Tassadar forever, which it's a shame. I always like Crypt Lord Tassadar, and I actually really enjoy some of the color variants on his what wore his master skinned. I forget what they are called now. We're gonna see Lionspeed elect to take Uther and Greymane. Very, very meta. Greymane strong, Uther strong. I don't think we need to tell you guys that.
Now, I will be disappointed if I don't see the lion skin coming out of Lionspeed.
Yes, they should all be on the lion mount too. Um, if I'm on the side of you face Braxis, I'm thinking about some shenanigans right now because I got Tassadar on my team. I could possibly decide to pick up Vala here and really get her to work, or Illidan's also another play, although you never really want to show Illidan this early in the draft. Vala, not as important, and can still complement the Illidan.
It's true. Illidan would complement it, but not just yet. You want to see what they're going to ban out because Tassadar does have other good shield targets in the pool right now, other than that Illidan.
I
But
keep forgetting about the changes too. With the hunt going up to 100 on the cooldown, it might not he might not be as valuable these days. I'm really unsure. It's first day into a new patch, but we do see the Anubarak and the Malfurion picked up on the side of Euphase Braxis. Malfurion, not someone we've seen today. He used to be the number one support player in Heroes, but now he's fallen into a more of a niche role where he complements teams with his Twilight Dream, but he can never really support with a full support. So it's nice to have a Tassadar paired with him.
yeah, the Tassadar pretty much ensures that heal will tick up without much interruption. I like this ban coming from Lionspeed just now. You definitely don't want Mouth Tracer Tassadar. That's just going to wreak havoc on your back line.
Yeah, Tassadar is one of Tracer is one of the heroes that extremely benefits from being paired with Tassadar. So Lionspeed not wanting to have to deal with that. Going back to that point about Malfurion and Tassadar working together, a force wall really can set up a very punishing Twilight Dream. So we'll look to see if they elect to go that road when it comes time to select heroics.
Yeah, definitely. But if we see a Lunar or anybody like that come out on the side of um, Lionspeed, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tranquility come out of the Malfurion just to kind of nullify that poison damage.
Oh yeah, definitely. Tranquility is still a very good team healing ultimate. Sometimes it's overshadowed by the usefulness of Twilight Dream, but when when you need Tranquility, it's not a bad healing ultimate to have. That's for sure. Because Tassadar does not have access to one of those.
Definitely does not. And I don't remember if Malfurion lost Cleanse. We'll see at 7.
I believe Malfurion does not have cleanse anymore.
So this is so far no cleanses on the side of you face Braxis, but
Yes. Not many heroes are left with cleanse, though. I think it's just Rhaegar, Lily, and that might be it right now, off the top of my head.
I think you're right. So we're gonna see what the next two picks are gonna be out of Lionspeed. We do see the Arthas ban out of you face Braxis, and really that's a smart ban. Arthas is an incredible solo laner, and when you have a strong solo laner, it lets your team rotate a lot more because you don't have to worry about that one lane all the time.
Yeah, and Arthas does pair very well with Greymane, creating a space, an area where he can create a lot of roots, and obviously he has his frost trail thing. I'm blanking on the name of that, but he definitely set up another route. So a lot of things to keep Greymane in the action doing damage. I just didn't want to see that.
I like this. The Garrosh followed by the Brightwing, just they have disables for days. Garrosh being able to throw somebody into their backline. Greymane gonna have an easy time following up with it. I got the hiccups all of a sudden between the Brightwing and the Uther. I love this combo.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw the power of Brightwing in the previous match. Brightwing's global presence at Sky Temple is very important. She has the ability to do a lot of siege damage and clear waves and never miss a team fight. So her value is definitely warranted on this team comp. And being paired with an Uther, they're going to have a lot of survivability. Greymane's going to be very tough to take down, especially if the Uther elects to go Divine Shield.
Well, right now we're looking to see what DPS and possibly specialist you face Braxis is going to pick up for themselves. Maybe an Azebo, maybe we see the Lunara and Vala, two really good solid targets for the Tassadar shields. Very, very solid damage on them. This is going to be kind of brutal.
Yeah, they took two assassins who primarily get their damage done with auto attacks, and well, those lifesteal plasma shields are going to be doing extra overtime work with Lunara and Vala on the team. So
Well, now the question is, do you double tank this and do you go Johanna here?
you can't double tank with a double support. It's asking for trouble. You won't have enough damage to deal with Lunara and Vala and Malfurion and Tassadar. That would be an absolute disaster for the team, I believe. I really think they need somebody who can do a lot of damage and somebody who can also create some sort of disadvantage for the team. Somebody who applies a lot of slows or can do something that would disable the team. I think Gul'dan would be the choice here. Horrify would be very good against this team comp. You want to displace either the Lunara or the Vala away from Tassadar.
That's a great point. Gul'dan would get a lot of... Okay, so we've got the variant. Now the question is this a Colossus Smash variant? With that armor reduction, Greymane would get a lot more trouble in, or a lot more damage in, and whoever Garrosh throws is already in a load of hurt.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. They went very melee heavy though. It's kind of a scary prospect to do that when the other team has a new Barak. I mean, you basically are asking to be cocooned away from your team at some point, and when that happens, it can be very devastating. I kind of worry for Lionspeed's draft here, but maybe they have some hidden plan I'm not seeing. And
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the Raynor portrait, the Raynor portrait coordination on Lionspeed, and it's just making me chuckle. I love it.
I call that portrait Roman Raynor because he kind of looks like Roman Reigns there.
All right, that's fair. So we're going into Sky Temple. This is game one between Lionspeed and You Face Braxis here on Chair League's Thursday Night Heroes here on Nexus Commentaries. I'm Zexrus. With me is Balrog Fan for his last game of the night. Well, next game we've got coming up is the Golden Mishas versus Rixer for Kids with myself and DJ Tyrant. So let's introduce the teams.
On the blue team, headed by the blue team, Lionspeed has Star Fox 64 on Garrosh, Dan Troop on Variant, Glaucius on Uther, Patches on Greymane, and Big Wiz on Brightwing.
And on the side of You Face Praxis, we've got You're My Hero on Malfurion, Winterheart on the Lunara, Bruce on the Anubarak, Delouds on the, it looks like, the Tassadar, and then Emperor Juice on the Vala. And we see both teams decide it's time to die for Vision.
Dying for Vision is a time-honored tradition in both Blackheart's Bay and Sky Temple. It's always fun to die for Vision. It's what you do.
And nobody really overcommitting to that. We see the Q from Garrosh come out just now. Doesn't really hit anything, and teams are going to retreat to the mid for the most part. But we do see this... Nubrak throw some beetles towards that top tower to get some value and reduce the number of tower shots right there.
It looks like they're looking to really take control at two lanes, and well, now we see Lunara rotating down to deal with the Varian. They're going to split off. We're going to see Tassadar in mid, Lunara in the bottom, and then Malfurion, Anubarak, and Vala all pushing top.
And if I'm honest, this is kind of a hard matchup for Garrosh in the middle against this Tassadar. Tassadar being able to do a lot of damage between the Psionic Storm and his Disruptor Beam.
Yeah, that's scary farm for Templar's Will, because the sooner you get that online, the stronger Tassadar becomes.
Yeah. And we're going to see how this turns out. Garrosh throwing the Q out, trying to land on that Tassadar. But I don't really think it would lead to that much. I'd much rather see him conserve his mana for these upcoming engages in the middle temple if You Face Braxis decide to engage into it. You see the Oracle come out of the Tassadar and decide, no, I'm not going to take that middle temple. They can have it.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna. You Face Braxis has elected to just take control of the top keep and top temple and not lose any soak while they push down on the top keep.
Yeah,
Lionspeed is responded by just taking complete control of the middle temple and still making sure to get their soak, although Brightwing is having a hard time pushing back this wave. She does it to some success there, but it doesn't look like Vala and Malfurion are giving up anytime soon, and we see the Greymane diving in. Polymorph goes out on Vala. Vala taking a lot of damage, but she's able to vault away, and now they come up and they're trying to disrupt the temple that Anubarak was channeling up at the top. Bruce is going to use his Burrow Charge to get out in time. Pouches is coming in really hard. He's going to eat the root, though, and he's going to be stunned in place. He's taking a lot of damage. He has to get away. He uses his human form to back out, and they reset, and now they have taken control of the top temple, and they're going to get the final shots. But meanwhile, in the mid temple, that's also happened, as Diaz is on Tazadar dueling down the Uther and the Brightwing, but it's just too many stuns and displacements. Diaz has to disengage, and they're going to get the final shots on the mid keep as well. So very well played there by Lionspeed.
Yeah, definitely. It was really impressive work right there. Disengage out of that Greymane to dodge that Nubarak stun was really well timed. It just barely missing him. Kept him alive right there. And it doesn't look like You-Face Braxis is going to slow down this push anytime soon. We see Vala take a couple shots at that wall to kind of get her hatred up there.
And we got a rotation from Uther. Uther comes in and stuns the Lunara, and Varian immediately comes in and pays her back for all the grief she's been causing him down there. You can see the tower is completely out of shots, just constantly pushing. But that rotation was well timed from Uther, and they were able to delete the Vala.
Yeah, nice.
Lunara. Why can't I get Lunara's name right tonight, man?
Just remember, 2 rib cages, man. 2 rib cages.
All centaurs have 2 rib cages. Everyone know that, and never forget it. Anyways, right now we see both teams electing to get their bruiser camps. The You-Face Braxis decides to channel it immediately, which some teams choose to hold off on it. I'm surprised they went with that early, maybe because they already have so much fort damage and they're just looking to take that fort before the bottom temple phase starts up.
They have a very real possibility of pushing this fort in before the bottom temple phase starts, and I mean, a nice response out of Lionspeed right there to stuff this push to keep this keep alive. It keeps sitting about 20% right now. As we see level 7's talents come out, we got Into the Fray, so Garrosh looking to probably chuck that Varian in for some additional fun time.
And now we have the temple activating in 10 seconds, both teams rotating to get into position. Right now you see that You-Face Braxis has elected to get their siege camp. They're going to go ahead and spawn that up at the top lane. Brightwing went ahead and did channel that bruiser camp, which they got earlier, and now they're going to get some mileage out of that. Brightwing looking to help assist that push a little bit before she teleports into the team fight, but she needs to go soon because You-Face Braxis has complete control of this temple and positioning, and then he's starting to whittle away at the tower, and it gets infinitely harder if you let that tower take down your fountain.
Well, holding a shrine gets infinitely harder if your Vala dies right away. Patches going in deep on that Greymane, takes a lot of damage, doesn't disengage just yet. He's looking to go back in at some point, but I don't know if it's the safest thing for him to do. He takes some damage from the Lunar right there with that W. I believe it's her W.
Yes.
Yeah, her W. Getting the Splinter Spear right there. Getting that extra value. Nice root on the 3. That's a lot of trouble. The Lunar goes in, dies for his efforts. The Lunara just died at the worst possible time.
Yeah, Lionspeed really turning things around there. I had my doubts about this melee heavy comp, but they are showing that they are not going to be giving up any temples for free as they take control of the final shots yet again for the bottom shrine. And now they're putting a lot of damage on Diodes. Diodes has a lot of escapes, but he's going to get stunned and take a lot of damage. Greymane jumps in and absolutely destroys Tassadar.
Yeah, and now we see the taunt come out from... We see double taunt. We see Warlord's Challenge and taunt out of Varian and Garrosh. So that's an awful lot of lockdown. That's almost 3.5 seconds worth of lockdown right there, and that's a catastrophic amount of time to just be stunned. And I love this decision making out of Lionspeed. They take this fort so they can get additional value out of this temple. That was just absolutely smart decision making. They didn't waste shots. They're getting value elsewhere from this temple on the map, and they're gonna back off again. Oh, because the temple was finishing. And if
they planned that, they planned it perfectly because the the last few shots were exactly enough to take out that tower bottom lane, and then they got some free shots on the fort in the mid lane. That was very beautifully executed. But we got a team fight going on in the mid lane. Garrosh is taking a lot of damage. He was stunned. He's silenced. He's taking a lot of damage, and he still gets out. The power of Garrosh, everybody. But Brightwing goes down in the melee there, right?
Yep, that was a beautiful pre-cleanse to save his life, but You-Face Braxis just completely turns his team fight. Whoever's stuck in the middle is in a load of hurt. It's Varian. Can he survive this? He's nice and full. The shield wall preventing so much damage right there, but it doesn't. It saves his life, but it doesn't stop this mid fort from going down.
Varian doesn't know the definition of very hurt.
If anybody watched the most recent Hero Storm,
A Carbot animation.
So we're gonna watch You-Face Braxis just push Lionspeed off their bottom bruisers with this really aggressive invade. The Oracle coming out of Tassadar just to kind of make sure it was indeed safe for them to do this. And the question is now, how does You-Face Braxis proceed?
Well, this is what you do when you're when you're You-Face Braxis. They've been a little bit behind and they haven't been able to take a win, but they've been asserting their dominance on the map, and you can see that all over the place with having a structure advantage on forts, which isn't going to last very long, but right now they're definitely doing what they can to stay in this map.
Oh, we got a fight coming out bot. Malfurion gets thrown way back in the back line. He is definitely going to go down. Gets taunted up. Gets the Variant thrown forward. A nice force wall from the Tassadars.
But the force wall wasn't enough to keep the Greymane out, and the Greymane gets a kill on the Lunara.
Yeah. One more force wall goes out to stuff any further aggression, but I mean, Lionspeed just performing really, really well right now.
Yeah, showing they showed up to this chair league match to play. They've had complete dominance and control over the map, and we're seeing it again here down with the Brightwing controlling that temple. Meanwhile, the rest of their team is attacking the boss. They're looking to push some real big damage on this bottom lane now.
Yeah, I love this decision making. This is going to be so good.
And You-Face Braxis doesn't sniff it out at all. They probably assume that Lionspeed is up at their bruiser camp just like they are right now, but they're going to be very, very shocked to find out that they now have to contend with a boss on a fort that's already taking damage, and the wall isn't going to be there to provide much support for defending against this boss.
Yeah, those final shots go out, and the front keep wall is down, and this is really scary for You-Face Braxis at the moment. They've got this nice, healthy boss that's going to at least get this bottom well.
Yeah, the well will definitely go down. We'll see if they can support it enough to be sure to push it through to see if they can get a keep. But that seems kind of unlikely with the amount of damage they're taking. But Bala gets thrown into the mix and is immediately deleted. So now things looking a lot better for Lionspeed.
Yeah, Patches takes a lot of damage on that Greymane, disengages back. The stun hits on two, but misses the Greymane. And
the Brightwing Z's in.
Yeah, Brightwing Z's in. Malfurion has to ice block, gets thrown in the middle. He's definitely going down. The shield definitely not enough. Stun from Anubrak goes out, hits two, and this is the part where Lionspeed wisely backs up.
The Divine Shield was so clutch, and it made sure the Garrosh didn't die, and now they're looking to re-engage here. They feel like they have an advantage, and they want to push it.
Patches going in deep, the taunt onto Anubrak. Brewer's taking an awful lot of damage. Rain of Vengeance does come down, stuffs any further aggression, and Varian is in a world of hurt at the moment. He has got to get out of the way. The Garrosh tries to throw him, out of the way, but ends up chucking a creep out instead.
And quietly, You-Face Braxis has responded to this very well. Brightwing had to stay back for so long because she was dealing with all the pressure that was created in the top lane by Anubrak. And now, even though their keep is much weaker, they're almost in the same positions here with one wall opened up on both sides in the top and bottom lanes.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really good foresight on the side of that Anubrak to push that lane out as hard as he could. And, it's one good shrine, and it's an even game.
Yes, and it looks like right now You-Face Braxis is just going to elect to clear out their opponent's siege camp and make sure that theirs can get through, or at least have a chance at getting through and doing some damage to that bottom wall.
Nice wisp location right there. It ends up dying, but Lionspeed definitely needs to respond to this because this temple is going to get a lot of value. But we see you face Braxis. Just they were kind of waiting for the party time surprise in the bush, and it's not going to come just yet. But here come Lionspeed getting ready to engage into this temple. But I don't think this is the. Do you think they're going to try to take that top keep?
Yeah, it looks like they're electing to just give it up, and if they're going to respond, Lionspeed needs to do it now. They either need to counter push or nope, we're wrong. It looks like You-Face Braxis is elected to not try and counter push, and they're just going to go ahead and engage in a team fight here. While
it's the fake back. Ooh,
yes,
stun hits onto 2. Nice stun, a force wall to kind of prevent entry from that particular direction. If I were You-Face Braxis, I'd be engaging here sometime really soon. They do have enough. Ooh, a nice root onto 2 from the Malfurion. The Rain of Vengeance comes down. Star Fox in a load of hurt right now. Garrosh so very low. The Emerald Wind from the Brightwing comes out. And in the meantime, Malfurion does go down. Nice stun onto the Nubarak from the Uther, but nice Divine Shield onto Varian right there. He's got to wait for a heal from somebody. Cocoon onto the on patches right now. Garrosh still alive, 60 hit points. How is this orc still alive? Nice taunt from the Varian right there, but he is definitely going to go down. There's no way to save him with that poison damage on his body from the Lunara, and it looks like Emperor Juice is going to end up controlling this bottom shrine for You-Face Braxis the rest of the way. But the main point is Lionspeed kept that top keep, and they got to keep it their own.
Yeah, they were able to get the bottom keep, and I think they were hoping for a little more with the Bruiser Camp pushing top. It was able to get the well and do a lot of damage and open up the keep completely on top for them as well. But the story here is definitely that Anubarak web. It's always going to be a very big problem to deal with, especially the Greymane. You don't want to lose your Greymane like they just did, because it's going to create very bad teamfight situations for them.
You mean the Varian? They lost
no,
the Varian.
They web wrapped the Greymane though.
And here comes another web wrap down, and as Uther goes down, the Holy Spirit not able to out heal the poison damage from Lunara, and now Garrosh just kind of stands there, knows he is dead, and this opens up the boss for You-Face Braxis.
Yeah, You-Face Braxis team comp is starting to really come into focus here as they gain their 16s, and you can see the power spike here. It's going to be very hard for such a melee heavy comp to really get engaged with them at this stage of the game.
Definitely.
So they might look to counter push and try to take an opportunity where they can actually just end the game very quickly. They have opened the door for that, so we'll see how Lionspeed chooses to proceed here. While they deal with this boss coming down on them in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and smartly they grabbed a siege camp as well, taking it away from You-Face Braxis, or taking it away from Lionspeed, as we watch this boss push into the bottom lane with Anubarak ready to go with a stun or anything to help this boss get additional value. It's going to go in on the this well now at this point, and we see double Temple Face come out. The mid and top.
Yeah, in 10 seconds we're going to have a double temple phase, and at this stage in the game, double temples usually ends. If it doesn't take out both keeps, it leaves them very vulnerable.
And this keep is probably not long for this world at this point. We see the shield go out onto the Brightwing. Brightwing's Emerald Wind is down. Both Garrosh and Brightwing trying to tap the well, but it looked like the well is down for Brightwing. Uther does go down. Now he's gone, and he's able to help out everybody with that massive amount of healing you put out for a few seconds as You-Face Braxis now break off and back. Lunara getting chucked by the Garrosh, getting her some additional value, and they're going to head to the mid shrine and try to get that mid keep down.
And they have their hands busy dealing with 4 siege camp minions. They are not easy to take down right away, especially when you just have Varian and Garrosh there trying to contest. And both temples are right now under the control of You-Face Braxis. They're really trying to push this advantage, seeing if they can get this top end mid keep.
Yeah, absolutely. This is very, very going very well for You Face Braxis. They see what's going on here on the side of You Face. On the side of Lionspeed. Oh, this is a big amount of trouble. Star Fox about to die. Or is he? Throw comes in. The Raining of Vengeance from Ballad lands on the two. And Garrosh just simply isn't dying at this point. Brightwing goes down in the meantime. Garrosh finally dies. A stun with the Roots. Varian is not much long for this world. He goes down. That's a 3-for-0 trade.
And Varian's doing everything he can in these team fights to focus on the Lunara or the Valet, but it's just not enough because with the shields, it's like you talked about in the early game, that provides enough time for those heals to tick off from Malfurion, and then the plasma shields will allow for the Lunara or the Valet to be able to immediately soak their life back through doing attack damage. So that's what we've been seeing play out in these team fights in the late game, and it's been very, very hard for Lionspeed to deal with. And now they're at the mercy of these temples, and their core is in bad shape.
Yeah, shields are gone. The damage is ticking down. 4%, 3%, 73. There's nothing. You hate to just sit here and kind of watch this happen, but really, what can you do at this point?
Yeah, the core is going to be taking a lot of damage, being down to 42% when it's all said and done, and You Face Braxis is going to look for a way to end this, possibly without even a next temple. But playing it patiently and just waiting for a temple when you're at this stage of the game is not a bad strategy
and look at
all.
that creep wave top. That is a gigantic creep wave.
Yeah. Right now, Lionspeed wants to go in and get their own, and they're trying to, and Uther gets caught out peeking, and Lunara is just diving in, doing a ton of damage. You see the Force Wall come out, preventing the escape, but Garrosh tosses Uther away from the action and keeps him safe. Meanwhile, Brightwing's being focused down now. She's the target. She's taking a lot of damage, and she's able to get away at the last second, but oh my god, I'm sorry. Brightwing ends up taking a lot of damage anyways and goes down. Bruce is focusing on the Varian now, and he's going to go down. We see the Divine Shield go out on the Greymane. The Greymane jumps on the backline and takes out Malfurion, but he takes a lot of damage, and Bruce is able to steer and stun him out, and he kills the Greymane as he goes down. And then, wow, that was...
Yeah, that's pretty much game at this point.
That's a good game, yeah.
Lunara standing on the core right there. That was hectic there at the end. That was absolutely insane. So we're coming back to us, and we are waiting for game 2 to come in here real quick. We'll see what map we're coming into here real quick.
And looking at the stats in the post game, Lunara just putting in work with 100,000 siege damage and 81,000 hero damage. Her presence was felt in every fight. The poisons are real. She had the most soak out of anybody in the team as well. MVP, Winter Hearty, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. She yeah, the Splinter Spears coming out of that Lunaro is just putting in so much work on that, on Lionspeed right there. Lionspeed definitely held their own there for the longest time, but it just got to a point where the test shields and the Malfurion heals were just a bit too much.
Definitely, yeah. Once they hit 16, you could see the scaling and the talent choices all paying off at once, because that was when You Face Braxis finally was able to turn it around, because things looked dire for them most of that game. And props to You Face Braxis, because Lionspeed seems like this is the first time for us casting them, but they seem like a very fundamentally solid team who plays very strong, and You Face Braxis did a very good job holding on for that. We'll see how both teams decide to respond in the second game once we know the map and where we're going.
We are going to Braxis Holdout.
There it is, Braxis Holdout. So probably if a game 3 happens, it will be at Infernal Shrines.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. I would not be surprised. I'm just looking forward to Golden Misha's tonight, because I'll probably end up seeing Tomb of the Spider Queen or Towers. And I always appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were saying there's a 3-map pool here, or a 4-map pool or something. What is the map pool a little smaller week to week in Share League?
I do not remember.
I think that's what they were saying, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the invites, and there's my invite. Yay!
We got a lot of fans of Braxis in chat. Really, really going wild for Bruce's play, and his Anubarak play was stellar. So
Yeah.
glad you guys could come through and check it out. We're Nexus Commentaries. We're trying to make sure that all amateur games get as much casting as possible, and we do that by casting for Chair League, HGC Open, and what's the name of the Sunday thing again? I'm sorry.
It is Gamers of the Storm. They cast on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday as to not really interfere with Chair League. There's not a lot of Sunday games at the moment, but they, like I said, they are a fresh new.
And it looks like both teams are ready. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
The time for self-promotion is over. Oh wait, no, they need one moment. So, but yeah, for all our new people that have come on chat, go ahead and give us a follow if you don't mind. It would really help us. We want to try and be there for you guys and make sure that VODs are made of every amateur game because it's important for the growth of the scene, we believe, and we just want to help. We just want to make sure everybody gets to go back and look at their matches and watch other people commentate on it. So that's the goal here. And we're looking for the ready from the other team, but we're talking Star Fox now.
Yeah.
So
we are ready.
All right.
We are going into Braxis holdout as we mentioned. So
just going to go ahead and transition to the draft screen, I assume.
No, I'm just going to keep it on us the entire time. Who wants to watch the gameplay? They just want to look at us.
Just look at us idiots sit here in chairs.
So, Braxis, if you're Lionspeed, do you ban the Anubarak here?
I mean, it's a possibility. Again, the strength of Gul'dan here, something to consider as well. If you don't plan on taking Gul'dan, he is not a bad choice for the first ban.
No,
not at all.
Not at all. But we have yet to see anybody. We've seen Braxis twice tonight at this point. We have yet to see anybody consider the Gul'dan ban, or the Gul'dan pick, I should say. So.
Yeah, we only saw him come out once earlier. I believe that was in Game 2 of the previous series. But yeah, we haven't seen as much Gul'dan as I thought this tonight because he really didn't get touched in this recent patch. So I thought we'd be seeing a lot of him. Yeah. Stitches getting banned.
I don't disagree with that ban. That's a nice, solid ban. Stitches gets a lot of work.
Yeah, he's probably the best tank in the game. The only other candidate for that is being hovered right now for the first ban on the side of Braxis. So Stitches and Dahaka's presence on maps are very, very strong, and it's not a surprise to see them get the first pick, first ban treatment.
No, definitely not. We're
It's mainly partly too because the tank pool, I believe, is so deep right now. Almost every tank in the game is viable at this time. So you have a lot of options. So just banning out the top tier stuff, the janky hook stuff, or the super fast Dahaka everywhere in the bushes stuff is probably a good play.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree with that. You definitely don't want to deal with a Haka here. If you can avoid it, he's just way too strong. Insta pick Ariel. I'm shocked.
Yeah, Ariel's just I mean maybe
I was being sarcastic.
No, I mean, well, right now the problem is with Ariel. With those changes, she's not as strong as she was.
Right, but her swipe, her sacred sweep is stronger in the middle, and if you're playing on the back foot, you've got all that Zerg in your face. She's going to get a lot of value from the middle, from hitting everything in the middle.
Yeah, no, I don't think she was dumpstered in this recent patch or anything like that. I just don't know that she's first pick, first ban material anymore. But it's on Lionspeed to prove me wrong there. I could be completely off base here. I've only got to see her played twice since the patch today, so she just doesn't look as strong as she was, which is probably a good thing because she was pretty busted before. We see Stukov and Anubarak on the side of you face Braxis. Very strong picks. Stukov is just so disruptive, especially in Braxis holdout. You can't sit on a channel point he's using Lurking Arm on, because you will take a lot of damage, and I assume Bruce will be on a new brick again, and he will come in and clean it up.
Yeah. I am expecting another growing infestation game out of the Stukov. Despite the nerf to it, it's been still heavily picked in these games, just because of that gigantic range. I mean, it covers the entire beacon. You can't get on that beacon at all.
Yeah, it's a very good strategy. You take one where it gets the expanded range, and then at 7 you can take the one where it persists after it's been canceled for, I believe, 1.5 seconds. It gives you a lot of potential for zoning out areas, like you said, those channel points being the perfect size for that.
Definitely. So we're gonna see the Garrosh and the Vala, and I like it.
Yeah, Garrosh and Vala, both very strong hero picks. They pair well together. Garrosh is able to kind of act as somebody who can disengage for his team when he takes the friendly toss, which we did see in the last game, throwing his Uther out of the way to keep him safe. We saw some very heads-up play from their Garrosh, so obviously they had a hard time killing him before too, so very strong pickup. Vala is just a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely. But we're gonna see. Yeah, you definitely don't want the Tassadar with that Vala. That's just you ban the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see Tassadar paired with Vala and Ariel for sure. You're just asking for trouble. It's the proper ban right here, and you face Braxis recognizes that they're not going to just allow Lionspeed to have that. And it was an interesting draft speed strategy for Lionspeed to put them in that position. Grabbing the Ariel and the Vala basically force their hand in that ban, and you can kind of plan around what you know they're going to ban.
Definitely. So on the side of Lionspeed, we're going to see what they want to ban out for the U-Face Braxis. And
yeah, if I'm Lionspeed, I'm seriously considering banning somebody who can shred with AoE damage, Malthael being a very good candidate. I don't know if you would pair a Malthael with a Nubarak and Stukov. There's no reason really not to. And obviously we saw the value in at level 20 with the power of Malthael's Death Shroud being able to linger and persist in those tight spaces. So I think Malthael's a really strong ban here, but we'll see what Lionspeed elects to do. It's not a bad idea to choke out a second support if you don't want to see them pair somebody very powerful with Stukov. But we do see the Lunara ban, and I don't hate that either. Almost in every single game we've seen Lunara clean up tonight, Zex.
Yeah, we definitely have. She's been getting huge amounts of value with that poison damage, and it does definitely stuff the potential Malthael Lunara I'm just gonna dash you to death combo. So right now we're looking at the next two picks on the side of U-Face Braxis, and I'd like to see some damage come out from them. Maybe a Gould. I don't hate a Gul'dan pick here. So we'll definitely.
Yeah, Gul'dan's still available and still a very strong hero here. So we're looking for Braxis to kind of, like Zex said, look for some damage there. I don't know. Yeah, Gul'dan feels like the strongest choice. Malthael's still available as well. Hopefully they weren't being too reliant on that Lunara pick that got previously banned. And we see Valera and Probius.
Oh.
Get right. That is quite the pick.
Yeah, I love this. I love this pick right here. Probius is just so deceptively oppressive.
Yeah, especially in a small map like Braxis Holdout, because you have to pay attention to Probius. You have to make sure that Probius doesn't get to push out the lane. And it's hard to rotate in on Probius when you have the threat of Valera stalking around everywhere, especially when you just have Vala right now. Look for Lionspeed to draft some beef now, because you don't want to draft any more squishies to open up to that Valera, because Valera will stun lock you and delete you.
What about I can't believe I'm suggesting this. What about a Medivh?
A Medivh on the side of Lionspeed. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely get some value out of Medivh, especially with the ultimate. What's it called? The
Polymorph or
no, no,
Leyline?
Leyline would do a lot of work, especially if Leyline was able to catch. But instead, we see Artanis and Rhaegar, and that's kind of the beef I was hoping for. Artanis is very hard to take down. They are going double tank, double support, which always worries me. I feel like you can't get quite enough damage out, but Artanis is one of the few warriors who can really pile on the damage. So we'll see. Those swaps are deadly.
Yeah, that's exactly what this Artanis is going to be looking to do. He's going to be looking to swap somebody into Garrosh's range, and he's going to throw him back, and Vala's just going to pile on the damage as Artanis comes in with the Zealot dash off that off his W. So I really like this. This is one of the few cases where I think this could be a bloodlust comp because look at all these.
Oh,
people.
I think it's definitely a bloodlust comp. For sure.
I like this draft coming out of Lionspeed right here. I think they've got a really good potential counter. And if Valyria gets in anywhere near Rhaegar, she's got to silence him. Otherwise, he's just going to drop the Earth Totem, and that whole team's just going to turn around and explode her. And now we see what is actually the best tank in the game.
Arthas being picked up by the side of you face Braxis, and Arthas is just a monster with all the amount of roots and slows he can apply. It feels like you just can't kill him sometimes. You pair that with an Uberek who can also pile on the stuns. Suddenly Probius and Valera are going to be opened up and have the opportunity to pile some damage on. We'll have to see which strategy they elect to go with, though. They might try to just split push the entire game with the Probius pickup. It'll be interesting to see how they approach this map. You face Braxis proved that they are very, very savvy players in the last game, so I'm sure they're going in with a very solid game plan.
Yeah, I really like what both drafts are. I'm sorry, I can't take them portraits seriously, man.
Oh, Roman Rainer? That portrait is amazing.
Roman Rainer.
He looks exactly like Roman Reigns there. Well, not exactly, but
it's
definitely uncanny.
It's close enough. I like what both drafts are trying to do, really, and we're definitely gonna see how they try to execute their game plans here. But it is time to introduce the teams. Go right ahead, Balrog fan.
On the blue team of Lionspeed, we have StarFox64 on Garrosh, Dan Troop on Rhaegar, Glausus on Ariel, Patches on Vala, and Big Wiz on Artanis.
And on the side of you face Braxis, we've got the Louds on the Arthas, Bruce repeating his performance on the Anubarak, Emperor Druce on the Valera, Winterheart on the Probius, and You're My Hero on the Stukov, rocking the M. Bison tonight, the dictator himself.
The man, Stukov. Yeah, and we see some good luck, have funs coming out from both teams. Both teams very sportsmanlike, playing at a very, very solid level. I'm hoping this game is as exciting as the first one.
Valera out there scouting needs to be a little careful. If someone spots the blur, she's definitely going to eat some damage. And we see Probius setting up with a nice little warp rift right there.
Garrosh running in and dropping down a spray, letting him know that he sees Valera, but Probius doesn't care. He's starting to set up, and he's going to be pushing out lanes. This is the things that Probius does. These minions are going to disappear fairly quickly. They're going to have a tough time matching the push in the early game. Up top, though, we have Artanis dueling around with Arthas, and we're going to see Dan Troop on Rhaegar wait to come in with a rotation. He drops the slow totem, and Artanis goes in and tries to grab Arthas, but he's unable to get him.
Oh, and
Stukov goes down.
Of course I missed First Blood. Why wouldn't I miss First Blood?
Here at Nexus Commentary, we missed First Blood.
100%.
Well, that's only like the second or third time.
100%. Oh, he gets chucked over. Too much damage from the towers, the fort, and everything. And Bruce goes down, and they begin to clean up these pylons, these annoying pylons. But decides to hit forward with a warp rift as a parting gift.
Even when you're a Uberek, death is assured at level 2 if you get chucked over a wall. That is way too much damage. Uberek thought he might have been able to get out there with the burrow charge, and possibly if he had level 4 barrow shield, he might have been able to survive it, but not right there this early in the game.
Yeah, nice arm from Stukov right there to kind of just dissuade Lionspeed from getting any additional damage, and Probius just gets thrown halfway across the map just now, throws a Warp Rift off. Vala does go down in the meantime, and you face Brett just playing incredibly strong right now. Nice Sacred Sweep coming out of the Ariel to get some extra damage right there, and nice stun from the Valera. Nice Detainment Strike.
Yeah,
from the
Valera
Ariel, but she still goes down. Ariel gets killed by the Valera, showing the benefit of just being able to. Oh, Valera's so hungry right now. Nice stun onto her. Follow up from the Anubrak. Anubrak gets thrown in. Nice burrow charge in from him, and Garrosh does go down. Vala not able to stuff the aggression from You-Face Braxis, and You-Face Braxis looking very strong right now. Nice root from the Gul'dan, or I'm not the Gul'dan, listen to me, the Arthas. It's not even an orc.
he's a you know, a strong figure in Warcraft, so that's what they have in common, I guess.
And Dan Troop's got to be so careful right here. This Vala hits the stun, followed up by the root, and Rhaegar goes down as we continue to watch this push on the bottom side of You-Face Braxis. The top Zerg wave from Lionspeed is definitely going to get cleaned up pretty easily, and this fort is going to definitely go down in a hurry. Nice stun on the one. Go ahead.
All the worries that I had about Lionspeed's draft we're seeing right now as Anubrak dives in, Bruce trying to do a lot of damage and stun out the team. He's getting attacked quite a lot, but he's able to get away, and Ariel is going to be forced to retreat or throw down a heal here very soon because she's taking a lot of damage. Back to my point, just taking a double support, double warrior combo on this map, it's very dangerous because of situations like this. You cannot clear this push wave very easily, and at the start of this beacon fight, Vala got killed. It created a lot of problems for Lionspeed because they had no damage to contest what You-Face Braxis was doing, and that just led to an easy Zerg wave that they are having a hard time push away.
Yeah, absolutely. And that whole time, Arthas was top, just doing Arthas things, split pushing. And
yeah,
that's the nice thing about having an Arthas. He doesn't have to show up right away. And I'm very curious if he comes in at 10 with, ooh, nice Q onto the Anubrak, but no real response. A nice burrow charge onto 2, and Patch is in a lot of trouble. The heal comes down from Ariel, and another Q from the Garrosh right there from Starbuck. Almost gets Emperor Juice. The Valera having to back at this point. Hits the well. She wants to go back in.
Stukov spreading around his globes, and he hits that bio kill switch so everybody can get a little bit topped off there, helping out his team. It looked like they had Vala there for a second, but Vala was just able to get out there, and that was a heads-up play by the Vala and the supports to make sure that they didn't lose Vala right there, because it would have been very detrimental at this stage of the game.
I'm very worried about this top lane, because if you look, this Artanis is incredibly low on mana. The Howling Blast misses, but he's taken an awful lot of damage. He blade dashes trying to get away, but that just leads to an ambush from Valera, and Arthas does go down.
You-Face Braxis showing us they have a very strong Valera player in Emperor Juice, because she has been everywhere, and she has been a nightmare for Lionspeed to deal with thus far.
Yeah, she has been doing a really good job of just suppressing heroes and making sure that they have to make a choice, either eat a whole bunch of damage or die.
And she's scouting around. She gets revealed by Ariel's Sacred Wings there. She's going to look back to go back out in stealth, hoping to get in on that Vala, but it wasn't to be. We see the beacons are going to be up here in just a moment, and both teams are kind of jockeying around the top beacon for position. Looks like we're going to get a team fight breaking out here. The Detainment Strike goes out on the Anubrak. The Anubrak throws out the Barbed Spines. They miss completely, but they got control of the shrine right now. Garrosh moving in, looking to pull in Probius. Probius gets tossed over the wall. Vala immediately responds. They put the Detainment Strike on Probius. The Sleeping Strike goes down, and Probius is deleted, and now You-Face Braxis is going to be forced to retreat, and we're going to see a moment of where Lionspeed might be able to push themselves back into this game. Artanis right now is dueling down bottom with Arthas. It's not going well. Arthas is going to get the slow on him, and in comes Valera, and that immediately takes down the Artanis once again and in the top lane, Bruce goes down just on the outside of the wall. Action happening in both lanes. Very hard to keep up with, Zex.
I somehow got all those kills, and I'm not really sure how he did it, but I'm not going to question it. So we do see Ariel dropping that heal down for everybody, now out of hope, pretty much. Gets about 50% hope up after that, and throws the heal down again. But there's a really big push coming in the bottom lane, and Artanis just has not had much luck against this Arthas. We're going to take a look at the ultimates.
Ooh, Stukov goes down after eating the sweeping strike, and Vala follows up with the damage.
Ooh, we do see a Nulgate coming out of the Proteus, and I love him already. Arthas does go Army of the Dead, just wanting that extra sustain and flailing swipe out of the Stukov, with the traditional cocoon being picked on the side of the Nubarak.
Yeah, and you can see now the plan for Lionspeed probably needs to change, because this Artanis cannot deal with this Arthas in any way, and Arthas's wave clear is allowing him to continually push. Meanwhile, we got a more engages happening up top as Nubarak looks to kind of push in, but Vala chases him off with some sustained damage there, to showing him he can't just come in on her. And now Lionspeed has kept control of this top temple the entire time, and they've been unable to progress the beacon so far. And right now it looks like your face Braxis wants to change that, but they eat the sweep and the stun. Detainment Strike goes out on Bruce. Bruce taking a lot of damage. Oh my god, the Ancestral goes off in time, and it saves Glacius. Now Valera's coming in trying to do a lot of damage, but she's stuck in the sweep, and then Valera comes in, and she's pushing off a lot of damage onto the Stukov, and Stukov is gonna go down.
Yeah, this is really incredible team fight coming out of the side of Lionspeed right now. They really clutched it together and have been holding on, but the big story right now is this Artanis is just having one heck of a time with this. Arthas has to drop the laser onto Arthas's head, and it gets no value whatsoever.
Yeah, they might need a strategy down there, but really you don't have any other options. It's not like you can rotate your only damage dealer down there to push him out. If you're going to do that, you have to rotate as a full team, so we'll have to see how they respond. Ooh, Valera gets caught out by the Vala, and the Vala's throwing out damage. Artanis goes in for the swap. They pull in Valera through the Null Gate. Ooh, Probius takes a lot of damage and gets deleted. Lionspeed coming on strong here. Once they hit 10, they really scaled up in power, and now it's on you face Braxis to respond accordingly, because they are being pushed back left and right here.
Yeah, I mean, really solid team fight coordination coming out of the side of Lionspeed right now. The Arthas just gets thrown back, way across the safety area. The flailing swipes comes out from the Stukov to disengage, and now Artanis is just in a world of hurt. The burrow charge from the Anubarak cocoons the Vala, and now our Valir is just going to town. Smoke bomb is dropped, and now woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah,
Vala had hit points, and then she didn't.
The cocoon on Vala is going to prove invaluable, because once again, the double support, double warrior, you really rely on your one assassin to stay alive, and when you cocoon them out of a fight, you either have to get them out of that cocoon immediately or completely disengage and give up the Vala like they just did. Ariel going down to channel the beacon, though, and try and delay this a little bit, give them time for Vala to come back up.
Yeah, that was a really heads-up play out of the Rhaegar right there, to just immediately break off and just take that bottom beacon to delay even a little bit, as Lionspeed does their best to regroup and maybe try to take this beacon back before this percentage finishes up, but I don't think it's going to happen. And now Lionspeed's going to face 100-0 Zerg wave. Valera out there hunting.
These big Zerg waves are very detrimental. As we saw earlier, they don't have an easy time clearing these, and with Probius backing them up, they can really do a lot of damage.
Ooh, Arthas gets thrown in the middle of 4 to Lionspeed, and the laser beam goes down onto the Valera. It's not going to get a whole lot of value, but we do see Army of the Dead was popped, and that's a pretty big cooldown on the side of you face Braxis to lose that, and now Arthas is going to go bottom.
And meanwhile, they have a very healthy wave still pushing top, still being backed up by this Probius, who's throwing down pylons and making sure that too many structures don't stand in their way.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I might have liked to have seen pylon overcharge here just for the additional value by throwing it in there, but doesn't matter. Valid gets blown up, and there goes their soul damage dealer, really. And now Star Fox in a world of hurt is the they're gonna take you face Braxis is gonna take this key. And if you're muted.
Yeah, friend. I'm sorry. You Face Braxis is showing that they're a very, very strong team. I had a coughing fit and had to mute there. And meanwhile, Arthas goes in. He's got a lot of damage, and now Artanis is going to go down, followed up by the Garrosh. They both die. Val is back up. She's going to come out and try to see if they can push off You Face Braxis, but You Face Braxis smells blood, and they are just piling on damage on the core. They just want to end it, and it looks like they might have enough. Ariel's going to come in. She does a sweeping strike, but it's not going to be enough. Look at the core. It's just being melted away. You Face Braxis has come to play today, and they are going to call out the GGs. You Face Braxis takes it 2-0 in a very, very strong performance. But you know what? Lionspeed looked really good. I think they had some wonky drafts, but obviously their playstyle was very strong. I just think they didn't really consider some of their options when they were drafting earlier, passing on things like Gul'dan and Malthael.
Yeah, You Face Braxis just really showed how well their team fight coordination was, and it was a joy to watch. And like you said, Lionspeed had some really clever ideas.
Yeah. They showed that they were mechanically sound too. It's not like Definitely. They were just outright getting blown up. I just think it was a case where they got outdrafted 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I would have liked, and I agree with your point about the double tank on Braxis. I would have liked to have seen them go another DPS. Garrosh, I think, has enough tank ability to sustain a lot of fights, and the Artanis just had one devil of a time with that Arthas. Really, that was definitely rough to watch, because I don't think Artanis should really get bullied like that.
No, Artanis felt really weak there, especially when dealing. Artanis has no way to really respond to push pressure, right? And when they showed that Probius pick, you should have really considered how you were going to handle split push pressure at that point, whether it came from Probius or Arthas, who are both very capable of it. And like I said, you couldn't just take someone who was good at rotating, because Valera was going to be scary, lurking around everywhere. So I think a strong pick would have been someone to just, camp in a lane and kind of, stem off some of that pressure. Someone like Gul'dan would have really accomplished that, or even maybe, I don't know, Jaina, Kel'Thas, any mage really that can push back stuff and that doesn't have to get in the middle of those giant minion waves that come from when those beacons get channeled. So
definitely, you are. This is why I have you on the show. This is why I have you here. You're definitely not wrong in your assessment. So, but we're gonna take a break. It's your time to head on out, and you've got an early morning ahead of you, and I've got a later night. We've got the Golden Mishas versus Rixer for Kids coming in next, and that's going to be in about an hour. So stick around. You definitely don't want to miss the Golden Mishas. They are incredibly fun to watch, and you guys definitely won't be disappointed. And
before we go away today, I just want to say thank you again to Trixler for hosting us and giving us so much exposure. That was ridiculous. All you people who showed up and hung out, you seem to be very